If you could have one superpower, what would it be? What is happening, YouTube? In this video, we're talking about how to develop a superpower that will allow you to become rich, sexy, funny, productive, more focused, anything you want. What is a superpower and how does it work? So I was asked a few months ago, Ted, if you could develop one superpower, what would it be? And I said, I wanted the superpower of completing everything on my to-do list every day. That'd be amazing. And so I actually thought about it for a second. I was like, wait, that's actually possible. There might be a way of constructing some like structure, some framework, like a challenge where I actually get everything on my to-do list done. And I know this is the most effective way because over the past few years, I've spent over $50,000 on different courses and coaching programs to help me overcome my procrastination. And this is the only method that actually worked for me. Because let's just pause and think about that for a second. Imagine today, you're like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna do 100 squats, read for an hour, and I'm gonna write for an hour, and I'm gonna get my inbox down to 0. Most people would like set that, and then they wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I don't really feel like it, I'll do it later. I get so many people who like sign up for like my coaching program or sign up for like my membership program, and they're keen, they're gung-ho, they're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna launch this business. And then I can track their progress, and they don't even log in once, and they don't ever go through a single video that I upload. It's just because they haven't developed the superpower of saying what they're going to do and then doing it. If you want true deep fulfillment in life and true satisfaction and really true progress in life, you got to get good at knowing what you actually want to do and then taking steps towards it every day. Gosh, man, just imagine how much further ahead you'd be in life if you had always done what you actually said you're gonna do, as opposed to just saying it or thinking about it and then just not doing it because you don't feel like it. Like, that's the thing, a lot of these things on this list, I don't feel like doing, which is really weird because the night before I do feel like doing it, which is what I put on the list. Most of what I put on the list, I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome, that's gonna feel really, really good. And I write from a place of like, it's gonna feel good to have that done. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, ooh, I don't really feel like actually doing that. But I do it anyway. Like making this YouTube video, right? It's on my list. And when I'm done this video, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel great to put this video out there. Same thing with everything else on my list. Like today I did 500 squats. I didn't want to do 500 squats this morning. I actually sat around 20 minutes just procrastinating this morning, just waiting and waiting. Like, I don't want to do this 50 squats. But now that I've done them, I feel so freaking proud of myself. I'm gonna go to bed tonight, so proud of myself. Inbox 0. You know, every time I put inbox 0 down, it feels so good to get my inbox down to 0. So let's talk about this challenge that I've created for myself. I don't even have a name for it. Let's just call it, for the sake of this video, let's call it the list completion challenge. Because that's essentially what it is. You're writing a list every day, or I write a list every day in the evening. What's this say? Storage low, tap to manage. Oh man. Hopefully we finish this video. So what I do in this challenge is I write a list of what I want to do the following day, and then I wake up and I do it. And there are a few non-negotiables that I have to write in the list every day. So it's not just complete the list, but it's complete the list and also add these things to the list every single day as well. So some of those things that I must add to the list, things that are non-negotiables, are write for 10 minutes in the morning in my journal, stretch, listen to my vision every night before bed, and go to bed by 8 p.m. Freaking powerful, man. Like, you can't stretch every day without getting more flexible. You can't write every day without becoming more insightful. You can't listen to your vision every day without it morphing into actual reality more and more as days go by. And you can't go to bed at 8 p.m. every night without creating a deadline for yourself. So the 8 p.m. thing, it's not like a health hack going to bed earlier, though it is quite healthy. For me, going to bed at 8 p.m. every night, it creates a deadline. Like, I have to get everything done before 8 p.m. I've done this challenge in the past for a few days, but I didn't have the 8 p.m. deadline cutoff. So I'd like put all this stuff off to the evening. I end up doing it like freaking like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., whatever. And it wasn't good. Now that I got the 8 p.m. strict deadline, I'm much more productive throughout the day. I'm not putting stuff off and off because I know I got to go to bed by 8 p.m. That's how the challenge works, but there's one catch. There's a catch to the challenge. And this is the catch that a lot of challenges lack. This is the catch that a lot of people lack in their life. And this is like the golden nugget of the video. So if you made it this far, congrats, you're about to get absolute gold right here. In order to be successful with a challenge, there needs to be a consequence for inaction. If you get hired at a job and you decide to slack off at work for multiple days in a row, what's gonna happen? What's the consequence? You'll get fired. What if you don't show up for multiple days in a row? You'll get fired. There's a consequence, right? If you work at a big law firm or whatever, and you're supposed to have these papers done by tomorrow on the desk of the lawyer or whatever, and you don't have them done, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get fired. So what do? You freaking get it done. You prioritize it and you get it done no matter what. That's how employees keep their jobs. They prioritize their job, they prioritize their work, and they get it done. Irrespective of emotions, irrespective of feelings, they get it done. If they don't get it done, they get fired. A lot of entrepreneurs, they want to work for themselves, but they don't actually act like good employees. They slack off. So they're like great bosses. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. But then when they wake up in the morning and they gotta act like that employee, they just slack off. And they're like, oh, I don't really feel like it today. I just want to flow. And it's like, bro, you should fire yourself. You should just freaking hire someone to do the job because you're clearly not doing it. So this challenge fixes that. This challenge solves that. There's multiple ways of creating consequences for inaction. Like if I don't complete everything on the list, if I don't go to bed by 8 p.m., there's a consequence. And I've made sure to create a financially and ethically painful consequence, which is if I don't do this, I'm donating $1,000 to the Ronald McDonald Foundation. If I mess up. I haven't messed up yet. Why haven't I messed up? Because I don't want to freaking pay $1,000 to the Ronald McDonald Foundation. That's how it works. And I've been getting great results. Literally every single day has been 100% success rate. Now, let me talk about this. Exceptions. I do make an exception for the 8 p.m. bedtime if family or someone I haven't seen in a long time is coming over. So if my grandma comes over, it's like 7:30 and I haven't seen her in a while, which I haven't, I'm gonna stay up till 9:30, 10, whatever. But still, everything has to get done prior to that. Everything else has to be there. But the one area of flexibility is the bedtime. Oh, also, last piece. It really helps to make this challenge that you're doing and the consequence that you have for yourself known. You don't have to make a YouTube video like this, but you definitely want to text some friends and family members and let them know what's going on. If anyone comes over, they see this. It's like, this is daily, and it says vision, bedtime, and MIT. MIT is like most important things. So it's basically planning tomorrow today, writing a list. Let people know, put it out there, don't just hide it in. And so these two factors are what's missing in a lot of challenges. They don't have a consequence for not doing it, and they haven't made it public. Out of everything that's on my to-do list every day, probably the most like profoundly life-changing thing, in addition to obviously getting everything done, which is, pretty obvious, taking massive steps forward with everything, but the most underrated piece of this, and yet the most magical, life-changing step that I'm taking each of these days is listening to my vision. So I have a very clear vision written out of like my perfect ideal life. Like I've defined perfection and I've just written it out. And I listen to audio recording every night and every morning. And when you listen to things right before bed, you're like programming your subconscious. When you listen to it first thing in the morning, you're programming your subconscious. If you want like a template, if you want to see the template that I use for my vision, so you can create your own vision and so you can create your own audio recording and listen to it as well every night before bed and first thing in the morning, just comment the word vision below and I'll send you over the vision script that I use to create my perfect dream life. And then what you can do with that script, that template, is you can rewrite it and customize it and make it your own so that it reflects your perfect ideal life. I've had a few clients do this now and they're getting great results with it. They're like, wow, the results are coming so much quicker than I thought. Other people start getting results like right away. As soon as they write it down, they're like, oh my God, I'm already starting to see changes. Because that's the way the brain works. This is a whole separate video of like turning vision into actual reality. But most people do not have a clear vision of where they want to go through life and what they want to do. They're not clear on the kind of relationship they want, the kind of money they want to make, what they want to do for work, what kind of body they want to have, what kind of diet they want to have. They're not clear on this stuff. But when you get crystal freaking clear on it and you write it down and you listen to it every day, it starts to become very, 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 very obvious. And oftentimes we really don't need to be taught anything new. We just need to be reminded of things. And one of the best things to remind yourself of is what you actually want to have and what your goals are, and just your standards. Just remind yourself of your high standards. So that's that. If you want the vision template script I use, then comment vision below and I'll send it over to you. All right, peace out for now. Much love. Ciao, and see you in the next video. Bye.